Hi all, welcome back to my channel Ankit's Perspective. Today I'll talk about what car features work for me to make the flipping process a success. But first things first, the disclaimer. At this point in time, none of my videos have been sponsored and I'm not endorsing any products. I will not endorse any unlawful activities. You are still required to use your savings or cash or finance to pay for the new car. I'm not talking about any shortcuts, but simply a smart way of buying and selling cars. All information shared is based purely on personal experiences. Please consult your accountant or bank or financier or financial planner so that you can make an informed decision. So to start, I understand that we all have different brand preferences. So some of you might like a Toyota, a Hyundai, a Ford, a Mitsubishi, and so on. But if you saw my first video, there are no second guesses that I'm a Mazda enthusiast. However, I'm not asking you to go and buy a Mazda simply because it works for me. You need to understand that the flipping process can be applied to any car you like as long as the car fits the criteria. So today, I'll only talk about the car features that work for me, and I'll not talk about any information that's available online. I'll talk about why the Mazdas click for us in tandem with the flipping process, and I'll follow it up with some questions that people ask me from time to time. So what do we like? We like safety, features and looks, economical, transmission, after-sales service, and resale value. Now let's tackle these one by one. Let's start with safety. We all know safety first. I have a young family and I make no compromises in this department. I'd like you to take a moment and think about what safety features you'd like in your car. How many times have you avoided a collision while changing lanes simply because you failed to check your blind spot, but your car alerted you instantly? How many times your car has corrected itself automatically when it jumps out of your driving lane while you're distracted thinking about a work or a personal matter? How many times has your car automatically slammed on the brakes while reversing out or driving straight to avoid a collision? If your car doesn't do all the above, then it's a serious food for thought. And if it does all the above, then you are probably in the right car. Well, for me, both my cars have the above safety features, plus an added peace of mind of a 5-star ANCAP rating and plenty of airbags. So all these features give me the added confidence that both my family and I are in a pretty safe car. Now we come to features and looks. Talking about the features, it is pretty safe to assume that in this day and age, we look for creature comforts like your Apple or Android CarPlay, USB ports, auto headlamps, auto wipers, and so on. The thing I love the most is the single touch window up and down feature, which is on all doors and it comes standard even in the base model. In addition to all these features, I get 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty and a 5-year roadside assist at no extra cost. Now coming to the looks. If looks could kill, I'm dead already. In my honest opinion, among all the Japanese cars, Mazdas are the best looking cars both inside and out. Now some of you might have a different opinion, but these cars are way ahead of the competition in the looks department. So I get a car that is packed full of features, is extremely good looking, and at the same time a big relief on my back pocket when compared to a European car. Now coming to cars being economical. Both my cars run on normal unleaded fuel, which makes them really economical. Also, cap price servicing ensures there are no hidden surprises. While we're talking about servicing, I'd like to talk about something called Mazda Corporate Select. Under this, eligible models get the first 3 services at no extra cost. So you're covered for your 10,000 kilometer, 20,000 kilometer and 30,000 kilometer service. All you need is an employer who is eligible and a letter from your HR department. Please check this out, as this will save you about $1,000 in servicing costs. And if you sell your car after 12 months, like I do, the free services will stay with the car. And it is a big draw card when you sell. I can vouch for this because my 2019 CX-5 was sold with 3 remaining services and the buyer was stoked. Coming to the transmission, I'd say each to their own, but I'm not a big fan of CVTs. I still like the sound of gears changing when I'm driving my car, and both my cars have a 6-speed auto transmission. Coming to after-sales service, I'm really happy here as the experience is second to none. Loan cars are generally available at no extra cost when you book your car in for service or a warranty repair. Now with all my warranty repairs, the dealers have fixed the issues with no fuss at all, and they've also given me a loan car even at short notice. So in all these circumstances, my normal day was never affected due to non-availability of my car. Coming to the final one, resale value. I thought I'll save the best for the last, and being an accountant, I'm a big fan of this one. Both my cars have a really good resale value. The reason is both these cars end up in the top 10 selling cars in Australia almost every year. Being in the top 10 would imply that the cars are fairly popular and they'll sell quickly in the second-hand car market. And in fact, they do. In my opinion, a car's future resale value is an area where you need to spend a bit of time before you buy a car. What I do is, after I've decided on what car to buy, I go on the manufacturer's website to see the recommended retail price. Once I have that information, I check with car sales, Gumtree and Marketplace to see how much those cars are selling for. So I look at the price of a brand new car as well as prices of cars that are 1 or 2 years old. As I know how many kilometers I do annually, this gives me a fair idea of how much I can sell the car for, say 1 year down the line. Personally, no regrets on how much I sold all my cars for. It all comes down to proper research. So if you do your research properly, find a car that you love, and if it happens to be a popular car, you'll never go wrong. So those were the things I like in my cars, and there is one thing I'm not a big fan of: the space saver. The spare tire in the boot of my cars is a space saver. This means that the spare tire is significantly smaller in size when compared to the 4 tires on the car. So if I have a flat tire and I put the space saver on, my speed is limited to only 80 kilometers an hour, which can be a pain on the highway. Now that I've discussed the likes and dislikes in my cars, it is time to go through some questions that people ask me from time to time. The first question being, why do you only buy a Mazda and not try any other brands? Simply because of 5 reasons. Really safe, extremely good looking, 10 out of 10 for after sales service, sell really quickly in the second-hand car market, and finally, they work nicely with my flipping process. So why fix something that is not broken? I'd like to ask a question. Why a person buying a luxury car will always buy a luxury car as a replacement? I think the same principle applies here. Lifestyle, but at a fraction of the money spent on a luxury car. The second question, why don't you buy a premium or a luxury car? I can definitely buy a luxury car, but don't want to. Why? because now I'm used to changing my cars every 6 to 12 months. According to my research, a luxury car will significantly decline in value as soon as you drive it out of a showroom. To give you another perspective, my brother drives a Mercedes C200 and he pesters me about this question all the time. So one day I asked him, how much do you spend on your annual servicing? He said between $1,100 and $1,300. My answer was, for a tiny bit more, I get a brand new car every year. And now the final question. How do you find time to do this exercise every year? Don't you get tired? My simple answer is no. First of all, I'm passionate about what I do, and I really cannot quantify the time I spend on my hobby. So it's similar to somebody listening to music in their spare time. However, I'll be honest, the first couple of times it was definitely daunting and time consuming, like these videos I'm doing. But once you've done it a few times, the process comes naturally to you. If I have to put a time frame on the whole process of advertising the car, meeting a prospective buyer, getting the car roadworthy, selling it, and then buying a new one, I'd say maximum 3 hours per car. I'll cover this process in one of my future videos when I discuss the car selling process. As we approach the end of this video, let's quickly revisit the roadmap. Today I've covered the car features that work for me to make the flipping process a success, and I've highlighted that. In my next video, I'll talk about the car purchase and insurance strategy. So guys, we've come to the end of this video and I'd like to thank you. Please like, share and subscribe if you liked my video. Share the love and be safe.